Hello everybody and welcome back to Tunes Reviews. If you have not subscribed already, please do so and hit that notification bell so that you can see when I have new uploads, because I am going to be pushing out content like it is my job. So if you want to catch the new Tunes review that's coming out, hit that notification bell. Today I want to discuss two of the fragrances from Jean-Paul Gaultier that have kind of shown up quite a bit on people's lists and made a name for themselves in the last few years. If you all are familiar with Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male, which I'm sure a lot of you are, but some of you may not be. It was released in 1995. It is a lavender, vanilla, and cinnamon-based fragrance that has captured quite a few people's hearts over the years and been a fragrance that has been many men's signature scent over the years, as well as a fragrance that some of the ladies and or boyfriends out there have picked for their significant others for good reason. It is a wonderful scent that has been a part of my arsenal on and off for the better part of a decade. These two right here are Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Parfum and Jean-Paul Gaultier Ultra Male, which was released in 2015. Ultra Male was a fragrance that took me quite a while to warm up to. That is a fragrance that is very divisive among the old heads in Fragcom, and I could see why. I think that it's a fragrance that's been deemed one of the most perfect nightclubbing fragrances. It's been deemed a wonderful choice for going out. It is sexy. It is very appealing and alluring, but it does have an element to it that comes across as pretty youthful. So if you're looking for a fragrance that has that bubblegum sort of vibe that something like Invictus by Paco Rabanne has brought to the table and made popular, this is kind of along those same lines, but not quite as loud and obnoxious in my opinion. As for most of you out there probably already know, Invictus is probably my most hated fragrance that I've ever encountered in all of my time of reviewing. This is something that did take quite a lot of time. Oh, I should probably pick up the right bottle, eh? The Ultra Male is something that took me quite a bit of time to warm up to. But, you know, the more I've worn it, the more I've realized sometimes people can just be a little petty and can't accept that, you know, the scent DNA of progression just kind of naturally happens over time. They have to come up with stuff that's new, and I did reject it at first, but Ultra Male has really grown on me. It's something that I feel like is kind of a dumb reach in a way, and I don't mean that in a negative sort of fashion. I think that this is a fragrance that is just really pleasant and a people pleaser, so you can just reach for it without thinking about it, and that's always nice to have a Swiss Army knife in your arsenal that you don't really have to think about, and you know that it's going to garner compliments and or get you positive attention. Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male has been known to suffer from its performance in the last few years. It is a fragrance that, as time has gone on and it's been reformulated, it seems to have kind of lost some of its sillage and some of its performance as far as longevity. But with the new Parfum version that came out, I'm getting a little bit more of a heavy facet with the vanilla, and there's a little bit more of a spicy accord in it. No, it does not stray away from the original formula too much, which I think, for me personally, as a fan of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male, is a good thing, because I always wanted a more refined, more mature, and a little better performing version of Le Male. I never got to experience it while it was in its peak of performance. You know, like I said, I've owned it in the last decade or so. So it wasn't something that I got to experience back in the 90s or 2000s. I probably picked up my first bottle in 2012 or so. So this to me is just a little bit more refined, a little bit more mature. It has some of those screechy elements of the mint and lavender tamed back and or cut out altogether. The lavender's still in this, but I don't really get much of that minty vibe anymore. And for Ultra Male, again, this is that bubblegum, pear, fruity take on Le Male. So these are two wonderful choices for anyone out there that does love the original scent DNA of Le Male, but wants to kind of veer into a different direction, with Ultra Male being a little bit more youthful and a little bit more playful, little bit more of a night out fragrance, and the parfum version being a more refined. I'm going to introduce you to my parents for Christmas sort of vibe. It does have a holiday sort of vibe to it for me. Very festive, very sweet, very nice for fall and winter. And Ultramall, I feel like you could pretty much pull out almost year round, personally, just because of the nature of those fruity facets of the fragrance. But overall, these two are wonderful, wonderful fragrances. I will give them each their limelight and review them each in the coming months, but I just wanted to do a spotlight on two fragrances that have taken over the popularity of the original Le Male that came out in 1995. So thank you all for being here with me. I look forward to discussing more of these kinds of topics with you all in the future, and look forward to providing you with more content as time goes on. So I will chat with you all soon. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.